Here we are back in the shop. We're going to go over the ins and outs of rebuilding a brake caliper. Since we were going to build a brake caliper, I thought we might as well build a good one. So this is a 4-piston caliper out of an Italian sports car. And it's the front. So you can see here that we have 4 pistons that are pushing on the brake pads. 2 brake pads sit here and 2 on this side with the disc in the middle. And so when you hit the brakes, these 2 pads push out on either side and squeeze the pads over. On some other cars, British cars for instance, they don't have many of those. I think they only have one probably on the drive side. So they would have a sliding caliper situation where you have no cups over here at all pushing. You can see the housing where the piston's right inside here. Now we're going to get these out. These are a pain in the rear end, but they can be done. I'll show you a couple tricks. And so here we go. The first trick that I do is that since I don't have any history about this car, I know I need to push back all 4 pistons equally in order to get the pistons out. First thing is to push them back. Now, I went around and I pushed on this rubber. This rubber is actually quite nice and soft, and I think these have been done recently. I have one of the rears here too. That's another Atte caliper. And this is the rear. This has 2 pistons. And so we'll do one of these later, but you can see the rubber in here. It's just absolutely, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just torn to ribbons. And we're going to take care of that too. So the first thing I do is I get my trusty bag, put the thing in the bag so that when it shoots, which it will, it doesn't end up all over us. You probably can't see, but that doesn't really matter for now. What we're going to do is this is the pressure side where the fluid's going to come out. It's going to come squirting out of there. And so I think you can see a little bit. I'm just going to take my big dandy pliers here, and I'm going to take these one at a time. It's hard to see, but you can get past that. I'm going to open this up to a point where I like it. And I'm going to give a little push at first on this piston over here. Okay, so you heard that little pop, and you saw the juice fly in the bag out here and go running everywhere. So we got this one to budge, so that was cool. You don't have to be in a big hurry about it. Let's see if this one will do the same thing. I didn't put much pressure on there. Oh, that one's just falling back nice and lazy. That's a beautiful thing there. That's great. See the fluid coming here again. I don't know if you can see it or not. Okay, so I'm squeezing the pistons back into the calipers. Ooh, okay, now both sides there are officially all the way back. So now I have 2 pistons pushed back. There we go, I hope. 2 pistons pushed back over here. 1 and 2. 2 pistons that are out over here. And a big soggy mess inside the bag, which is a nice spot for it. So now we'll clean that up with a little brake clean and A little bit of primer and some cast iron paint. She'll be beautiful after we put new seals in it. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side. And you saw this one's being real nice to me. I just did the other front, and it was a little bit of a stink. This one, I hate to say anything. Wow, they all just went back in. This has been recently redone, and I can tell by the color of the brake fluid. It's been some time ago, but it hasn't been so long ago that it doesn't just looks dirty. So now we're going to pull this nasty thing out of here. Get rid of the bag. Get you back in the scene. Let's see, can we get you? There we go. Okay. Messy but true. Now, this brake fluid's probably going to eat through this bag. So I'm going to get that whole little hot rod wrapped up together and thrown in the on top of the rags here. Okay. Now, we'll wipe it down a little bit. Now you can see I pushed them all back. Okay. Now, I don't know why I say okay so much. Now that I've got these cleaned up a little bit, not really. Okay. Yes, Christopher, I know. And okay, non-stop, all the time. Now, you may ask yourself, how is it that we're going to get those pistons now that we've stupidly pushed them all the way back? How are we going to get them back out of there? And there's a couple different varieties of ways that we're going to try, and some are successful, some are not. What you don't want to do is you don't want to let one come all the way out. You want to get them all moving and grooving, coming out kind of equally. So I'm going to let them come out to a certain point, and then I'm going to start blocking them off and let them all come out so that they'll almost be touching each other. And I want to get them coaxed out of there so that I can get them past the seal. And so you need a lot of, this piston has to be out in order to get to that seal. So that's the trick that we need to use right now, is we're going to work these out very slowly and equally and evenly. We're going to use compressed air. They don't have to be really pretty. They're not going to, they're coming a lot farther apart than this. It's going to be a lot bigger mess. So one thing we could do is we could, let's set that one right here. Let's see here. I'm going to set this one. Just right on there for now. And then we'll put one here. Okay. Now, okay. Now I've just got this hanging in here. This one in the back, the piston's actually going to be free. This one in the front, I'm going to free up a little bit. And just have it like, that's not going to even do anything. I'll have to do it like this. Yeah. Looks clumsy, but it works. Okay, now this one here, I'm going to put another little stipulation on, and we'll start with a little air. Okay, I say that all the time. Now we're going to put about that much drip on there. Put that there. And see if that air will push that piston on. And you can see that it did. And exactly what I was talking about is what happened. Now, take this off of here. It's actually pretty good. Oh, goodness. Okay, now, I'm going to remove this one too so you can see what happened. We got it to the point now where we've got this one mostly out. That one stopped. So now I want to push that one back just a little bit, if I can. Okay, like that. That's all we need right there. Okay. Now keep that right there, and do that with this. Okay. Now, I don't think that's going to pop all the way out on me. Maybe. Okay, I lied, it did. Okay, so that's what I told you not to do. Don't do that. Okay. Now, I got those two loose enough where I want them. Now let's do the other side. These kind of work like two different circuits. I'm going to hang this under here again. Let that pick that thing up. And then this one here, I'm going to hold like that. Let's put this towel over our little peephole again so we don't get that stuff flying into the camera. Okay, now, pop goes the weasel on mine. Again. See what just happened? So I'm going to shove that back a little if I can. There we go. That's loose. Beautiful. Now, I've really got 3 of them. And so we can put this back on there. I hope you can see this. It's messy work, you gotta have a stomach for it. Almost. Okay. I'll go all the way down there. Okay, like that. Now, I'm going to squish that back in there. That gives me a little room over here. Okay? A little room for that piston. You can see where we're going with this. Jud clamp it. We got clamps everywhere. Now, we're going to take this little toadstool here. Keep dirt and debris out of all of these holes. That's extremely important in this. This is filthy as, whoops. This is filthy work, but you have to keep the little ports completely clean. If you get any dirt in there, you're going to be upset with yourself. Okay, last one. Wow, I can see it moving. Yeah, it's moving quite well actually. So I will go ahead and retract this one a little bit. See if we can't get that to move just a little bit more. I'm hoping you can see this. Can't see what I'm doing. See that? Okay. Now we're just going to go a little bit further. Actually, I'm going to hold this one back here. I'm going to do it so you can see what's going on. I'll hold this one back here a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I can't pop that all the way out now. Don't ever catch your finger in there, I've done that before, and that is a major bummer. Okay, you can really see it, just a second, be patient. Okay, that's what it does. Now, okay, let's take our clamp out of here. Get Jedley and Jethro on. Okay, now I want to push that back again, just a hair, if I can. Yeah, this is quite recently done actually. Okay, try to get it from the back there. Okay, now I'm going to set that between the two like that. And now pop! There she went. So now you will excuse me. Go to commercial break. Da 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 da. Okay, so now back from break, and yeah, you can see. Okay, so now we're going to take this apart, and just going to go here. Fourthly, let's take a look at the back. That's a better view. You can kind of see what's cooking. Some of these little chips are actually falling out. So we have an outer dust seal. We have a boot. Let me get that up. Yeah, that's a good shot right there. They have an outer dust seal. They also have a, there we go. They also have a ring that runs around that dust seal and holds it on there. They also have a rubber piston on the inside, which is on the piston, which is these four things right here. So, this I would call an extraordinarily easy redo here. I've had these where it's taken me a day. You got to pump them full of grease, and then you got grease everywhere. So right now what I have in my hand is the dust seal, and that's the steel ring. It's got a little gap in it. So that's that filthy little critter. And then here's the dust seal, the outer seal that keeps dirt out of your pistons. The brake pad rides on the surface here. Now here's the inside. So we're going to take this little umbrella off there. And you can see it's in very nice shape. The caliper kits are expensive for this car, but I'm not going to take the risk. These are usable again, but I would never do that. So let's take a peek here. We'll clean this piston up real quick, and what we'll find, as long as it's not pitted, which it's not, you can see where it was stuck. There's a nice round spot in that same area right there. That's where it was stuck. It was also stuck right here. But I'm going to take some emery cloth to this, or not emery cloth actually, Scotch-Brite. And I'm just going to Scotch-Brite that up there a little bit, and these will be fine. You can get these pistons, you can get them in stainless steel, so they never rust, but these are going to work out perfect. So there's one, and come here, you little turkey. Okay, there's two. Oops, two. Okay. Okay. This here is every reason to get the kit, and they're all rusty and kind of crunchy. That's bad berries there. Then we'll take this one out here. There's another piston. Doesn't look too bad. It's got well, yeah, there's no pitting on it. That's the main thing. If there's no pitting, we're going to use them. These are super expensive if you try to buy the whole thing. This one is still seated in there. So what I'll do is just take the pick, get that ring off first. That's the first thing you need to do. And that's where the hole is, so I can't get to it. Let's see here. We'll do it from the inside here. There we go. Okay. Once again, there's the steel ring. Here's the dust boot. Ooh. Uh-oh. Well, okay, now. That's okay. Got another dust boot that's stuck in here. We'll just get these out of here. Just a second. Okay, now I've got all those out. Now, inside the caliper, oh no I don't. I have 3 out of 4, okay. This guy here, is going to be a little pain. Right here. So we're going to teach it a lesson. Sometimes they come easy, sometimes they come hard. And the lesson is don't mess with me. That's the lesson. Now I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this only on this part right here. This is the part that's outside. This is the part that's in the caliper with the hydraulic pressure on it. Now I need to get some rings out that ride in the caliper and that this rides up and down on. So I'm going to grab this piston out real quick. Once again, only grabbing the outside here where it's not in on the machine surface. And I'm just going to wiggle it a little bit. Oh, that is a little stuck one. Okay, don't tear anything up now. Wow. Okay. So, this one that was really stuck, I'm going to pay a lot more attention to, but you can see it's actually, it's going to be nice and bright. So, you know, there we go. We'll save more than $1,000. Okay, now, here we are, and I think you can see, now inside in here, there's going to be another O-ring, and we're going to grab that O-ring, okay, we grab this O-ring, and we get that out of here. That's the actual seal. That's what seals the outside of the caliper to the piston. Hensely. So when this is crimped into its little slot in the caliper and you push on the brakes, piston goes like that and pushes on the caliper. It pushes in, pinching on your brake disc, slowing you down. So this is the major part of the kit, is actually this rubber seal right here. And it looks like it's in great shape. It's been well protected. Once again, I'm going to buy them anyway, even though they're ridiculous what they cost. So then I'm going to clean this up. Let's get right on with it. I think we're going to be running out of film here in a second. So let's take this. Keep your work area clean. Only takes a minute to show some self-respect and try to keep even a sloppy job clean. Okay, now we've got these bolts here. There's 4 of them. So what I'm going to do now is take off those 4 bolts. And I don't think I'm ready for that. Let's see if I'm ready or not. Look at that, I'm almost ready. So these bolts are no easy feed. So I like to use my 1/2-inch gun with an adapter. And you just take all those apart. Okay, once you get that apart, take your bolts out. Then you're going to split the calipers in half. And you're going to have some O-rings in the middle of the 2 calipers between the 2 halves. So that is where we're going to end this tape. Clean everything up completely, and once we get everything completely cleaned up, we'll try it again. We'll need that. Get those bolts out of there. And you can see on this half here, it's pretty scummy in there, but it's not terrible. So we're going to be able to use it, but I'm definitely going to have to get some 1000 grit sandpaper and shoot. I'll get some 1000 grit sandpaper, and I'll get some of that Scotch-Brite stuff so that I can clean these up. And I'll just use brake fluid. So there's your other seal for this side. Now you got your 2 halves. I'm going to send this out and have it cleaned again. Now, on this side here, got a little bit different story. We have the same setup over there, except in this half, we have another O-ring, which is right here. Just got that here. So, take that one, we'll take this one too. Those two seal the halves together. And that's how you break down a 4-piston caliper. All other calipers are exactly the same, when you probably don't have 4 of them to take off. So we'll close with that. Thanks for being here.